So Jerusalem artichokes are a perennial root crop that really can be grown anywhere. They need about 130 to 150 days of frost-free weather. They can get a variety of different sizes. We have a white variety. There are some red or rose maroon varieties. And in a really good crop, you're going to get them between 12 and 15 feet tall. They can grow in containers. As you can see the height on some of these. They are related to the sunflower, and they'll get really pretty yellow sunflower-like flowers on the top of them. You want to wait until they die back, and then it's time to harvest. You can harvest them all at once, but the problem with that being is they don't have a long shelf life. You can harvest a bunch and actually mimic as if they were in the ground. You can get a bucket, put dirt, artichokes, dirt, and then you can store them in a very cool place. Now, these are not related to the globe artichokes that we may be familiar with from the warmer climates of the United States or in the grocery store. So we did not have a good crop of Jerusalem artichokes last year, so we took the largest tubers, replanted our bed, and then the things have seemed to have turned around. Now they are invasive. They can be very invasive. So if you're going to decide to grow Jerusalem artichokes in an area of your yard or garden, you might want to consider doing it in a raised bed. This bed here is approximately 15 by 15 by 20-ish foot, and this is where they're always going to be. No matter how thorough you clean the bed, they're continually going to come back. So what can you do with them before I harvest some of them? You can eat them raw. You can dehydrate them. You can also put them in what we found to be a phenomenal way is let them set in a crock pot with a roast, and they become this very moist and buttery type of tuber. They're less starchy, good for diabetics. Now check with your physician before you decide to go in, just dive into this, eating them. And they can cause gas, okay? I'll be straight up with you. But the longer you let them sit in the ground, the less that affects your body. Now that does affect some people more than others, so that's something you want to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and harvest this big one right here first, and I'll show you what they look like. The best tool is to use a garden fork, just simply because it's easy to let some of the tubers fall through and less opportunity of puncturing the tubers, very similar you would a potato type of thing. Okay, I'll just leave it run. I'm going to wipe the screen off. I don't know how much moisture. Okay. Ready? Okay. So we'll just, now in a good container, good nutrients, you can get about 8, 10, 12 pounds off of one of these plants. We've seen that in this particular area in years past. So you just want to loosen it up, and you can see that is what they look like. Now, what do they taste like? Rich, earthy, kind of a cross between a parsnip, a carrot, a potato. It's a very unique flavor they have. Some people really like them, others don't like them at all. So if you're thinking about you wanting to grow these, before you invest in your initial crop, which will last forever because they're perennials, they'll continue to come back, try to find somebody who grows them and say, hey, can I try these and see if I even like them? Some organic food co-ops and grocery stores will also have these at specific times of the year, so you can get a hold of some of them and see if you even want to invest in growing these in your particular region. And you can see these are very, very nice tubers. Very unique, knobby looking. Now last year I talked about not having a good crop. Now you can see right here, this is a nodular, or I'll go ahead and break this off. That's actually trying to regrow a new plant. It's a rhizome, essentially, what it's trying to do. Now, last year, all of our beds was in this state and this state. So I think these are going to have larger tubers than what I'm expecting. So let's see what I have here. Yeah. And not much there. Let's see what's in the ground here. Oh, there's some there, okay. So that's a nice one there off that. That one's broke off, but it gives you an example here of what I'm trying to demonstrate. Last year, that was considered really, really large tubers in our artichoke bed. So we did have like one plant that was super, super big, and we saved all of those particular tubers and replanted, and that's what we have here. You can also ferment these in a variety of different ways, but you want to follow a recipe. You just don't want to kind of go in there and mix some stuff together. So you can do a lot of things with them, and fermentation is a good probiotic for your gut as well. So if you've never grown Jerusalem artichokes, try to find somebody who has, that you may be able to try them before you decide to invest in your first crop.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.